On this very special time, I would like to talk briefly with you about the rich economic partnership between the United States and Spain. When President Obama asked me to serve as ambassador to Spain over 2 years ago, the economic forecast in this country was very cloudy. Since that time, the improvement could not be more dramatic. Spain will likely lead the Eurozone growth this year, which is an amazing turnaround and a tribute to the hard work that's been done by the administration. I want to assure you that the United States is doing its part to ensure that Spain stays on this positive trajectory by working to further expand what is already a strong trade investment partnership. Many Spanish companies are enjoying great success doing business with and investing in the United States, including banks, energy, and construction companies. In fact, Spain is the 9th largest investor in my country, with more than $50 billion in direct investment. Last year, Spain's exports to the United States reached almost $12 billion. Some of you are responsible in this room tonight are responsible for that, so I thank you. These exports, including industrial technology, chemicals, energy equipment, construction equipment, and fashion, continue to grow. Sizable trade and investment flows the other way too. The United States is the 3rd largest investor in Spain, with many billion dollars in direct investment into this country. U.S. companies, again, some of them in the room this evening, employ more than 160,000 Spaniards, many in the automotive and chemical industries, but also in highly technical research and manufacturing jobs and in skilled service industries. Here in Aragon, leading U.S. names providing opportunities for workers at all levels include General Motors, the winner tonight, Becton Dickinson, Johnson Controls, Baxter, and Praxair, just to name a few. But I think we all know we can do better. The United States is the world's largest economy and an excellent base for Spanish firms to expand their business through presence in America. The multiple free trade agreements the United States has with Canada, Latin America, and the Caribbean have created a consumer market of over 700 million people. There is significant potential for expansion. For example, for Spanish companies in the automotive, food, and beverage, and engineering sectors. Our U.S. commercial services team at the embassy, led by Robert Jones, who is here this evening, and I'm sure some of you have already met him, is always available and willing to assist Spanish companies as they develop their strategy for investing in the United States. Many of you may be interested to hear that Select USA, the federal government organization responsible for promoting foreign direct investment into the United States, has recently announced the 2nd edition of the Select U Investment Summit that will be held in Washington, D.C. on March 23rd and 24th next year. I strongly encourage senior executives from Spanish firms to participate in this very unique event. Participants in Select USA Investment Summit will hear from high-level cabinet speakers, as well as from senior representatives of major U.S. companies about the advantages of doing business in the United States. President Obama inaugurated last year's event, while the Secretary of Commerce and the Secretary of State were 2 of the keynote speakers. We, of course, anticipate the same level of senior participation in 2015. In addition, officials from a number of federal government agencies will be on hand to inform attendees about the extensive resources available to help foreign companies like yourselves establish operations in the United States. The United States is a large country, and it's not always easy to decide which part of the country is optimal for your investment. So for that reason, economic development organizations from across the country will be available during this summit to meet with participants, hopefully people in this room tonight, and help you with site selection and discuss the benefits and incentives of establishing your operations in various locations across the United States. As an embassy, we are interested in doing all that we can to facilitate the entry of American companies to Spain as well. Spain's improving economic climate is attracting new investors every day. And as the U.S. ambassador, I am doing my best to encourage whenever and wherever possible. In the interest of further deepening our economic ties, we are also working closely with Spain to reach an agreement on the transatlantic trade and investment partnership between the United States and the European Union. We call it TTIP for short, and it's a trade agreement that offers a once-in-a-generation opportunity to increase economic growth and jobs, particularly among small and medium-sized businesses. The US-EU economic relationship is already the world's largest, accounting for 1/3 of total goods and services traded and nearly half of global economic output, supporting 13 million jobs. Economic studies indicate that a comprehensive agreement could increase real US and EU GDP and exports by tens of millions of dollars, as well as support hundreds of thousands of additional new jobs. Small businesses are an important generator of jobs. Innovation and economic growth in both the United States and the EU are a significant focus in TTIP agreements. TTIP will remove tariffs and non-trade barriers and level the playing field for all businesses, but once again, particularly helping small firms. And while we're talking about TTIP, I would like to address a common misperception and make it very clear that strong labor and environmental protections are central to this agreement. The United States is a world leader when it comes to protecting workers' rights and the environment. There is another area I would like to mention where the United States and Spain are cooperating to build our economic partnership in promoting the concept of entrepreneurship. Although Spain's economy has stabilized and the country has officially emerged from recession, we know that there are still significant challenges that lie ahead in order to create jobs, boost income, generate economic growth. The road has been particularly hard for Spain's youth. Here, as in the United States, many young people have responded to the economic crisis by looking for new ways to find jobs and build their own lives. That's why one of the US government's top priorities is to promote youth entrepreneurship. Many young Spaniards are interested in the US model of entrepreneurship, both for building businesses and creating civil society initiatives. We strongly believe that entrepreneurship can empower young people with a pathway out of employment, and we want to help. The President spoke earlier about this great opportunity for people to try to find ways of their own to move forward, and she eloquently put this forward tonight. So I thank you for being on track with our initiatives at the U.S. government.